Steph Curry's return, because the whole reason why this current homestand has been such a blessing is because we know that soon enough we're going to get Steph back, and then that just makes the team so much better. So I think yesterday Anthony Slater had tweeted a Steve Kerr comment about the San Antonio Spurs game where they're trying to break the record for attendance for a regular season game. Are you like, obviously we're all excited to get Steph back because he just makes the engine go. But what do you think about that date rather than like a home game or trying to shoehorn him in to this homestand? Because it sounds like he's okay, but I don't know. This date is circled for whatever reason. So what do you think about that?
Um, I think that I would want him to comfortably come back, and if that's the date that's like the earliest and most comfortable, like that he's not rushing any type of rehab, then I think that's the goal here. And it's not that he's doing rehab. I'm sure he's just like slowly healing because there wasn't surgery. But if that's the date, then I mean there is some questions about does Adam Silver really want him there because of this specific game that the cruddy Spurs are trying to break the record. I don't know, but as long as he's not rushed, because I think that this even like a game like the Spurs, like even though they're at home with this sellout crowd, apparently, like maybe at some point it's going to sell out. Like I'm sure the Warriors are still heavily favored in that game, so I wouldn't be too pressed about rushing him back for one of those. But again, if he is good to go, then I'm with it.
Okay, so the way that the schedule breaks out, so they played last night. We'll talk about that game in a little bit. Then they play Saturday. Then they play Tuesday. Those are the last two home games on this trip. Tuesday against the Suns, and Devin Booker will not be in that game. So Clay may actually not be so mad that game. And then Friday against the Spurs is this like sort of circled date. And then they go Friday and Sunday against the Bulls in Chicago, and then on the road again Monday. So he will probably miss one of the, I would imagine he misses the Wizards game, which is Monday, so that he doesn't play the back-to-back games. And maybe they stagger that with some of the other guys who, like Clay, may not play the back-to-back. Do you want Steph and Clay to not play the same game, or do you want to split them? You could sort of figure out how to do that. But then after that, they have a nice little break, and then they go Celtics Thursday night. I imagine that is the TNT game, the rematch of the Warriors humbling the Celtics on the first
Hmm.
ABC game this year. So the schedule breaks nicely with the exception of that one back-to-back, so you can sort of ease him in nicely. This I guess Tuesday, maybe if the last game of the homestand was like Thursday or Wednesday, maybe he could have played instead. But Tuesday seems just like a conservative time to just let's give him one more game and then he'll be
Yeah,
back on that Friday.
yeah, and Wiggins as well. They might, I don't know if he plays that back to back either. So he's another one that we're ready to return because he didn't even play against that. He the last game he played was the game before that first Boston game.
That's
That feels
right.
forever ago.
And so I would imagine that Wiggins plays in at least one of these next two home games. But again, the schedule breaks pretty nicely because you have that break. They play Saturday, Tuesday, Friday, so there's plenty of rest games in between there. So hopefully this continues to allow them to get healthy, and also with Wiseman and Kaminga as well. Those guys are also injured. But I had a sort of a bigger thought about this, which is so what is their current record? 20-19?
Or 20-20.
Well, I'll figure that out here in a second.
I should look too.
It's 20-19.
Okay.
So last year they started off super hot, right? They were just on fire. They had that great start. And then for like the second half of the season, they were pretty much like a 500 team. And I kind of wonder if that changes this year where they're the 500 team in the first half, and with a little bit of runway here, maybe it's not, not maybe it's post All-Star break where they kind of then make that second run, because I think getting everybody healthy. What was good about Steph being out, the positive of the whole thing is just that they had to sort of figure out how to score without him. And so that made Clay step up. Jordan has stepped up in games. And just then, even before that, even before Steph got hurt, they were kind of figuring out this the secondary lineup. And it seems like those things are getting so much better. So by the time Steph gets back, by the time Wiggins gets back, by the time Kuminga gets back, by the time Wiseman gets back, maybe
JaMychal Green hater.
Well, JaMychal, we'll see about JaMychal. but it seems like they should like really get back and the team should be way better. Now, the one thing that I wonder though is Draymond's kind of hobbling, and I wonder if when they get Steph and Steph and Wiggins back. I also forgot Andre. Maybe Draymond gets some time to rest because he looks like he's hobbling with the foot or the whatever the issue is that he has.
Yeah, and speaking of Andre, I just watched that Abbott Elementary where he was. It literally just like an hour ago that he was in it. That was pretty good
in the episode.
Yeah, he's in the episode.
Oh, okay,
he's a lot of, like 2 speaking lines, but they were great. I was gonna say though, like Stephen Curry getting hurt sucks, and it felt like just the knife in the heart right there for how they were performing away, and it felt like, can they even win a home game even though they've been so good at home without Steph? And they've been proving that thought I had wrong. And again, like Steph going down sucks, but it's almost been like, Jordan Poole's gotten to get the reps and the confidence being the guy. Clay has been able to step in and find his rhythm being the guy without Steph. And not to say Steph hampers any of that stuff, but I think that him not being there made other guys step up more into their potential, more into what they should be than say if he was healthy during this stretch. So I'm excited to see what the team looks like when Steph gets back because I'm kind of sick and tired of Jordan Poole in the clutch. But I hope we can keep up the Poole productivity, the Clay productivity, and then obviously bringing back in Wiggins. How does Kuminga look with the group fully healthy? Because Kuminga's been awesome when Steph has been down. And even like Wiseman, just plug and play a couple times. Like that was fun too. And then our guy Patrick Baldwin Jr. has been great. Has been for what we could expect from a rookie that, has basically missed his entire senior year of high school and college. So I think that's all things to look forward to. And then you start talking about the DiVincenzo's, how he's found himself as kind of like a defensive guy in this stretch as well. Like it's all fun. Ty Jerome, Anthony Lamb, start naming the guys. They've all stepped up. So I'm excited to see what happens when they don't have to step up.